I remember when I was a child, my mother cooked dinner for the whole family. No matter how tired she was, she always tried to cook something fresh. I used to climb on a chair and just watch her cook. We talked while she was cooking, but that day I was given a lot of lessons, and my mom cooked alone. In the evening, my father came and we all gathered at the table. Mom looked tired and said that it was a hard day at work. They were preparing for some important audit. I don't even remember what was for dinner that day, except for one dish: cookies for tea. Either Mom was distracted or she forgot about it, but the cookies burned down and looked terrible. I was afraid to touch it, and I was waiting for my dad to say when it was time for dessert. But Dad took the cookies, smiled at my mom, and asked me how my day at school was. It was a shock for me to see how he smears cookies with jam, bites, chews with a smile, and drinks it with tea. "Fine," I only managed to answer, and Dad took a second cookie and continued to eat it as if it was incredibly tasty. Although I had a sweet tooth and adored my mother's pastries, that evening I did not touch the cookies. When I got up from the table, my mother apologized for the bad baked pastries. But to this day, my father's words are ringing in my ears. He smiled and softly replied, "Baby, I love your burnt cookies." I couldn't sleep that night. It didn't fit into my childish brain how one could love burnt cookies. I got up and went to the kitchen to drink water. My father was sitting alone in the hall and watching some football matches on TV, and I asked him, "Dad, do you really like burnt cookies?" He smiled, turned off the sound on the TV, and patted the couch with his hand. I sat next to him and prepared to hear what had become for me the most important wisdom for a strong family relationship for the rest of my life. Your mom worked hard today. She's tired, but she found the strength not to lie on the sofa, but to cook dinner for us, and not only dinner, but even dessert. So, a few burnt cookies will not hurt anyone, but the way we accept the regard for us is very important for the person who gives us this care. I was a little girl, but then I realized that Dad just lied so as not to offend Mom. Much later, scrolling through his words, I realized their true meaning. Becoming an adult, I realized that life is full of imperfect things and imperfect people, and as it turned out, I myself became not the best hostess or cook. However, the lesson that my father gave me, the lesson of how to accept each other's shortcomings, became the basis for creating my healthy, growing, and lasting relationships. Neither father nor mother has been alive already for a long time. But every time my husband or children upset me with their actions, which slightly fall short of my expectations, I mentally transfer to that evening. To that table where my father eats burnt cookies with a smile and appetite and praises it as if it was the best delicacy. Appreciate your loved ones, perceive them as they are, forgive them for their imperfections, and this will return to you with warm and strong relationships in the family and the team.